What up, TikTok? Hey, hope everybody's having a great Friday. Hey, don't let anything that's negative in your life dictate the rest of your life. Does that make sense? Hey, we all go through some hard times. We all go through some emotional stressors, maybe at work, maybe at home, whatever it may be. Don't let that dictate who you are and how you react to the rest of the things that life throws at you. Does that make sense? Like if you're feeling pissed off and angry all morning or all day, you're going to take that energy and you're going to present it to everybody else that surrounds you, your loved ones, your soldiers, whoever it may be. You're going to use that negative energy and it's just going to make everything worse. Try to be positive. Pick something positive in life that's going really well. Use that positive energy and let that dictate the rest of your day. We can harp on the negatives. We can harp on the bad things that are going on in life. It's not going to help us. It's not going to help us move forward. Stay strong, keep pushing, drive on. Happy Friday.
What's up, Trash Talkers? Hitting you up this morning with a special promo on how to dress when you are doing PT in civilians, but you want everybody to know you're an Army. This comes from the Buddy Beckwith fashion design of how to work out. So first, you can notice the RI panties. Not Ranger panties, but Ranger Instructor panties. The green socks, the knee brace for the old guys. Don't forget the M frames. Now the shirt, don't wear the Trash Talk shirt while you're running. This is just for the promo. You want to put on like an 80-second shirt or like your favorite airborne shirt so everybody knows that you're a veteran. That's the most important thing. And you start with this stretch. Buddy Beckwith taught me this one. Ready to go.
So, I'm walking out of the gas station and my co-worker, who's an old MP, but we still claim him, and has engaged the man in conversation. Not much for conversation with strangers, but he's got the tab. So, as I walk by, I say airborne, and the man responds with, and I quote, "Hoorah." So, after I instructed my co-worker to slash every single tire before he put the car in gear, I looked for the biggest rock. As I crow hop to throw it through his back window so he can stop posing as one of us, I actually wake up and realize that the man's ignorance had incapacitated me for a moment, and I was daydreaming. I mean, because in that moment you got two options. I chose the third option and said, "Incorrect. That's an incorrect response." And I kept walking. The man said nothing and he pulled away. So you tell me, what is it, a stolen valor thing? No Marine's gonna have an airborne tab, and no paratrooper's gonna say hitting hoorah. So you tell me, stolen valor?
Hey, y'all, I'm going to work. I left you a note on the refrigerator. I love y'all. I'm gonna go.
Hey, go get dressed. Get ready for school.
You're doing great. We're just tooling around, tooling along. Shit! Bad guys! Stop!
Let me break it down Barney style.
Today's show is brought to you by the Farkas Group at the Veterans Mortgage Source. Are you looking for a team you can trust for your mortgage needs? The Farkas Group is our trusted partner on the podcast. I serve with Zach, and he will definitely give you the best rate possible. Their goal is to educate veterans across the country on their earned VA home loan benefit. If you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, reach out to these guys for competitive rates or any information you may need on obtaining a VA mortgage for your property. They are licensed in multiple states. If they are not licensed in the state that you live in, they will still give you the advice that you need and the rates you should be looking for.
This is the Veteran Trash Talk Hour, hosted by Nick, Dave, Joe, and Buddy. Real warriors making fun of other real warriors. Try to not get triggered.
Happy Saturday, everybody. Welcome to episode 76 of the Trash Talk Hour. Shout out to our sponsors, Zach Farkas with the Veterans Mortgage Source. You can check him out at Zach Farkas at vmsloans.com. 10th Mountain Whiskey, check them out at 10thwhiskey.com. Type in VTT and get yourself a special discount. Special guest today is Steven, not Stefan, from Life Warp. And today I'm joined by Nick, Buddy, and Joe. Over to you, Buddy.
So you guys know I'm doing the VA stuff and starting to transition.
Man, so
out
serious
of
and
the
so
military.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Super awesome.
What's up, buddy? Happy Saturday.
Yeah, what are you drinking out
I
there?
did find my canteen cup, guys.
Nice.
I found
CIF
it,
ain't getting
and,
that back.
I
Not a
said, "Fuck
chance."
it, I'm gonna use that. I might engrave this.
Yeah.
Best cup ever. The only thing
You
is
don't,
bad.
you don't need a vaccine after drinking out of that, man. You're already
Oh no,
cleared.
Charge.
once you drink,
Especially
out of
after
this, you
Ranger
don't
school,
need to
yeah.
be vaccinated for anything. You've got it
Tell
all.
CIF to charge that one to the game.
Yeah.
It still tastes a little bit of chicken ramen with
Shaving cream
MRE
and-
cheese in it.
Yeah. And a little
Yeah.
bit
Oh,
of
that sounds
shaving cream.
like a veteran cup.
So I'm doing this transition thing, and there's a bunch of Zoom meetings. I'm trying to go to college. So
You
there's
becoming
bunch
a
of-
girl?
for that? What?
Huh?
Yeah, you know what?
Transition. Oh,
Put a pin.
Okay.
Put a pin in that. So I have noticed it's only happened a couple times, but it's still a thing that's becoming more and more a thing. Like people will get on a Zoom meeting and then introduce themselves by their name and then their fucking pronouns. It drives me absolutely insane. If you have short hair and look like a dude, I'm just going to call you a dude. If you have long hair and are like makeup, I'm going to call you a girl. That's just how shit works. Just because you look like a glam rock dude from 1989, I'm not
Those are
going to call
good-looking
you
guys.
a fucking girl. You just
Yeah.
a dude with long hair. If that offends you, then go, hey, you know what? My name is actually Jacqueline instead of Jack, and please call me girl. And I'll be like, all right, whatever. It doesn't fucking bother me. But one thing I will not do is call you they or them. You are not multiple fucking people. You're one goddamn person. You're a single fucking human.
Why did I wear the triggered shirt
Well,
today?
Then they always come up
Yes.
with, but I'm gender fluid. First of all, the only gender fluid I've ever fucking heard of ends up either in the bed sheets or on somebody's fucking back.
Or Monica's dress.
Gender fluid just means that you can change genders or whatever, however you fucking feel, and that's cool. Fine, but you're only one fucking gender at a time. You're still not a they. That's not how English fucking works. You are a single human. And then, well, what about people with multiple personalities? There's still only one fucking personality at a time. There's only one goddamn person. You're a single human being. You're not fucking Jack and Jacqueline at the same goddamn time. The only thing that is like that is God. And that's like, he's like fucking the Father, the Son, the Trinity, all that bullshit. You ain't God. And until you
Holy
become
Ghost.
God, I'm not going to call you they. I
Right,
won't
and-
call you them.
Damn.
He, she.
Tell them how you really feel, buddy.
You know what? I think I've decided I'm going to start. My pronouns are going to be she and it because I don't give a shit what the fucking pronouns are. Fucking shut the fuck up.
You wanted
Dude,
them to
that's your
heat it
shirt
up,
right
Dave.
there. Hey,
You
buddy,
wanted
draw
them to
that
heat
shirt
it
up.
up.
She it. She
Just
it.
because you look like
You're a shit.
fucking, you look like some buff dude from 1989 or 79, any of the 9 decades. I don't give a fuck.
Oh,
Like
shit.
just because you look like a fucking dude, like I'm not just assuming that you're a fucking chick. You could just be into fucking death metal. I don't fucking know, but leave me the fuck alone. Like I'm not fucking driving around looking to offend anybody, but at the same time, I'm also not gonna swerve to fucking not hit a kid so I don't fucking offend your sorry ass. Shut the fuck up. You're a fucking simple person. Anywho.
Holy
buddy.
shit. This topped
Buddy.
the homeless pets, man.
Golf.
This is my all-time favorite one
Honestly,
now.
Cap,
Starting
for
the
the
slow
day.
clap.
I don't know if it tops the homeless pets, but
This Noel Baker
I
says,
think-
go,
I-
buddy.
I think it's been a while since Buddy's
That
got
was-
motivated, so I think
That was
that's why
that was savory.
we just got rejuvenated into the honesty cap that is Buddy Beckwith. I would
Oh,
love to
man.
turn you all onto his Facebook page, but he doesn't fucking have one yet.
I do
Uh,
have. I have several.
what's it called?
I even have one. I even
What's
have
it called?
one on ours.
What's
I
it
just
called?
can't figure out how to put a picture of BT Beck's Honesty Cap.
VT,
Yeah, we did
Beck's
partially
Honesty
set
Cap?
it up like
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Yeah,
Like a month ago,
That's
but
great.
no,
We have to
Yeah.
discuss this a little bit.
Buddy, that
Why-
was absolutely incredible, by the way, if no one told you. That was
Right.
Dave asked for the heat and you brought it to him. So that was a bottle of hot sauce.
Right. We would
Lovely.
like, Buddy and I have
Lovely.
our show, The
Savory.
Fifth Principle of Patrolling, so if you haven't checked that out, go check that out. But we would love somebody to come on that show with us and discuss why I have to respect when you don't know who the fuck you are. Right? Like I'm not mean to you. I don't care what you think you are, but it's not my job to figure out what fucking flavor of the month it is for you. Right. And then like Andrew Dice Clay said it the best a long time ago, comedian, very dirty. All right. He's like, I don't understand these transsexual types. And he goes, what do? They flip a coin in the fucking morning, like heads it's hair pie, tails it's balls across the nose. Like what?
All right.
What?
I didn't know
Why
there-
do I have to flip the coin with you? All right.
Well,
Like,
here's the thing. When did
All
it
right, man,
become an
leave your
inalienable
shit out of
human
my
right?
life. That's
When did it
Just-
become an
just do you.
inalienable human right to not be offended by anything? Like,
Right.
all right, you're offended.
I agree.
I get
Yeah.
offended all the time, and I just go, I'm not going to be around there anymore. I'm not a big fan. I won't.
yeah,
It
so
is
if you
what
go
it
on the
is.
Big Girls page, I said that post. I go, people don't have to respect your life choices. Okay. They should respect you. Okay. But they don't have to respect what you do. All right. And then they're telling you that I don't
Common
want to hang
decency.
out with
Just
you.
yeah.
I'll
respect
go
for
one
others.
further. I don't have to respect you. Like
You don't
I
have
have
to.
to give you. I have to give you the courtesy,
Courtesy and common
allowing you
decency, just to
prove
be
that
like,
you are
Once
that
you cross that
are
threshold,
actually in need of respect. But if you also prove that you're not respectable, go fuck
Oh, then,
yourself.
of course.
I don't have to
yeah,
fucking
like I said,
respect
once you cross this threshold as a triggered pansy because of
Yeah.
your choices, like I don't have to respect you anymore.
shop.veterantrashtalk.com. Just
Yeah, shop.veterantrashtalk.com. Quit being a triggered pansy.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's okay that you don't know if you're a guy or a girl. All right. We will show you that courtesy, but it's not okay for you to make us have to respect the fact that you don't know what the fuck you are. Like I'm sorry that I called you that. I wasn't doing it to insult you. Right. You're the one that decided to get triggered. Okay. And then you decide to become a pansy about it. Like
Well,
literally.
when did we decide to take a step back like 70 years, flipped it a little bit so that it's, just a little bit different. And now like we've got people that think the earth is fucking flat. We've got people that think that segregation is a good thing. We've got people that can't decide if they're fucking a guy or a girl, or if they're a guy or a girl minute to minute. There are people that like run around and like act like they're horses because they identify as being fucking horses. I remember having
I've seen a video like that, man.
Yeah,
They run
I
on
know.
all fours
Me too.
doing shit.
Yeah, they're like
This
trotting
all
around with
started with
rabbits in their
LARPing.
mouths and
This
shit.
all
Like,
started with
whatever,
LARPing.
you're into-
Yes,
You're into
yes.
Buddy,
fine.
when
Nick, don't lie. We
when I
wanted to
was
do
a kid-
LARPing too. We were back in the day,
Dude,
man.
those
We're like,
videos were sick, like especially like in Norway and stuff like that, where they're doing it in the woods. Like this
swords and
LARPing,
shit.
this live action role play bred this. Right. Once you said I could pretend to be a medieval knight, all right, it opened the gates to be
Wait,
whatever
whoa,
you
whoa,
want.
I
you can be
will
a wizard.
say this.
You-
I will
whatever the
say
fuck
this.
you want.
Now there's
LARPing
I
started
don't know
it
if you
all.
know this, but there are LARPers and they use the foam shit. We
Yeah.
used to go down. There's a park near. I live in Clarksville. There's a park that the LARPers used to show up on Sunday, and they would have like big LARP. And I wanted to get my platoon to like flank them at one point and just
You're platooning out
Oh.
of levels to beat
stick
them.
them.
We
But they would
Yeah,
probably
lightning bolt, lightning bolt,
lightning bolt,
lightning
fireball,
bolt.
fireball.
Deflect.
So, but
Yeah.
but anyway,
You're
so
done.
there's-
You're done,
They're
son.
the LARPer guys, but there are also like you should Google the medieval fighting competitions that they have in Europe. P.S. America. is
That's what
the
I'm saying.
champion.
Like Norway, it was crazy.
Yeah, but they're using like real armor and real swords, and they're beating the ever living
People
shit out of
people are
each other.
getting
There's a
hurt.
big deal between getting hit with a broadsword and getting hit with a
Guys aren't
pole-
showing
a
up to
pole
work the next
floating,
day.
and they're like, "I hit you," and now you're like 5 points. You're 5 points down, and then these other dudes are like whacking each other,
Steel
with, like,
hammers and shit.
battle axes and
Getting
fucking
on a
hammers and shit,
freaking
breaking
getting on an
fingers.
Arabian horse with a joust.
Dude, we used to watch videos on that shit all the time in the CP.
Brick killed a guy with a trident.
I saw that.
I
Yeah,
saw that.
horses and a man on fire.
They used to do that shit at Rim Lake in Fayetteville. Yeah. They'd meet up there.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's
again.
Oh, boys, from a hospital bed to this. God bless
Yeah,
that
nobody-
I miss sitting here laughing
Well,
with
we should
freaking
discuss
clowns.
that too
God, this is funny.
before we
Go right
introduce
ahead,
our
man.
guests.
I don't even care. I'm happy to be here.
Let's talk about
Joe, before
why
we
you
go
should
to the
pay
guest,
attention.
yeah.
Why you should
Do
pay
your
attention
thing.
to the Big Earl. All right, the Book of Earl has never allowed anybody astray.
Mhm.
Right, and so the Book of Earl has said for over a year and a half now that if you're unhealthy, all right, like COVID is gonna fuck your ass up. Right. Like again, same with the transsexuals. I don't care what you do. I'm not judging you for doing stupid shit.
Yeah.
Right. But once it becomes a burden on me, it's not my responsibility to respect that. Right. Like, so we always say don't smoke. I always say don't smoke cigarettes because you're stupid. Right. And, I used to partake in smoking, and I partake.
Yeah, I used to smoke all my cigarettes.
Yeah, well, yeah, because
You never had your own. You never had your own.
So that's because I didn't smoke. Right. So I just
he just started
cigarettes.
yesterday. One of those guys.
Hey, let me get a cigarette every morning, man, before
Nick,
PT. Every morning.
Nick, you roll with what you got. Just allow me to retort.
Told me the last 40
who
days
said
that
you
you
can't
forgot your
retort?
cigarettes at home, bro.
I'm just
But
waiting
again,
to you
like
to get freely done.
I quit smoking in 2012, even Dave cigarettes, right? So actually 2010. All right, long time ago. But I'll still partake in the cigar because it's an oral fixation, and it's a status symbol, right? Like when you're smoking a cigar, you're cooler than everybody else. So you do those kind of things. Just like back in the day, smoking was cool, right?
Yeah,
you had Marlboros and a
It works
Miller
for Red Auerbach.
and an MGD in the bar, and it's like it's dark in there, and you got a leather coat on. You look fucking cool, like you're the
Smoke rings.
Marlboro man, right?
There was something cool about. And there was something cool about Red Auerbach lighting a cigar when it was victory time. That was a pretty cocky statement. Sometimes a cigar is a statement.
It is what it is. So when I got COVID, right, it attacked my weaknesses, and I got strep throat and couldn't talk. Right, I lost my complete voice, and I don't think. I mean, a doctor can probably back it up or refute it, but I have a feeling that that was the worst part of my COVID symptoms because that was the dumbest things I used to do with my life. Right, I used to smoke cigarettes. So it attacked right there. Okay. And again, my knee and back were on fire with COVID. So it's it attacked those weaknesses as well. But everything else was fine. I nothing else. I had a minor fever, whatever. But Joe, I checked up on him and I was like, you're going to don't die. That's what I said. Right. Because
no, he actually sent me a picture of Robert Downey Jr. saying survive from Tropic Thunder.
Because he went to the hospital. Right. And, and
I didn't even know he went till you told me.
It's because he has weak genes. Right. And but no, that's not why. All right. He'd had strong genes. I'm sure, his dad's seed was strong, and Joe has spent his entire life trying to ruin that seed. Right. And he's been smoking cigarettes. Okay. So when he got the vid, right, it fucked his lungs up. All right. Because guess what smoking does? It fucks your lungs up.
My lungs
right?
were fine during COVID.
Yeah. I mean, you still do PT though.
Yeah.
So again, Joe, I hope you learned your lesson. And it's, if you would have died, I would have been sad. Tell me it's truth. I would have been. But about a year later, I'd be like, well, he smoked.
Yeah,
you are in tier 2 that the CDC says is at risk because you're a smoker. So it's there it is. But anyways,
glad to have you back, Joe. We love you.
It's good that you're alive.
Yeah.
Please take ownership of what you've done with your life.
Absolutely. So, it was actually about a week running the whole COVID thing because I actually missed one podcast the week before because after the UFC podcast, I started getting the shakes and whatever. And it came and went, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to work through it. So I went to work all week. Friday, some symptoms started hitting really bad, and I'm going to try and make this as short as possible. But I had my little girl's dance recital the next day, and that was the only thing I was hanging on to.
Bring the kids in.
Yeah, that was the only thing I was hanging on to. And so I told my wife, I said, look, the next morning, Saturday morning, Friday was an awful night. I was puking all night. I told her, I said, I can't, this isn't COVID. This is something else. I think I got the flu. I can't go. And it progressively got worse to the point where I went and checked in at the hospital on Sunday. And what had happened.
That's what happens when you swallow.
All right. Well, what had happened is I'd worked the whole week with COVID and been out in, a couple mornings, it was 18 degrees. whatever. I was out
So
there
you're
with
putting
COVID,
others at
working
risk
through it.
the entire
Yeah,
time.
he was trying to murder his entire city.
Dave, I was outside. I was working on a 2-man crew.
I was fucking with you, bro.
Yeah, no.
It used to be a 3-man crew, Dave.
Was I? Yeah, right. It was 4-man. No, but was I smoking the whole time?
Jimmy and John are gone now. Yeah,
absolutely. I was smoking the whole time. So they took a chest X-ray right before they were about to release me, and the doctor comes back in and goes, it appears from the amount of vomiting you've done, you've actually aspirated and breathed some of it into your lungs. You have
you swallowed
bacterial, sure, whatever. Paint it however you like. But said I had a bacterial pneumonia infection, and I could not go anywhere without a strong course of antibiotics, or I was probably going to die. So, in all seriousness, I'll take my lumps because I earned them. But I'm done with that shit, man. It's over for me, and I'm putting it on the podcast. I'm putting it out to everybody that's sitting here right now. You cannot go through something like that. Consider yourself a family man and not take serious inventory on what you're doing to keep yourself here. And that part of my life is freaking over with, because when all the chips get put down in front of you like that, it's a scary thing, my friend, to think that it's possible that you could actually, your decisions to not take care of yourself could hurt your family. And, and all that's all I needed. And I'm done with it. And I feel today, I was released from the hospital on Thursday, and I feel phenomenal. And I'm just thankful. And, dude, that part of my life, took way too long to get rid of it, but man, it's time to say goodbye, because there's so much more to this shit. And that it's just not worth it. And Dave, I won't be one of those guys that bust your chops about smoking, because I'm not. But man, just
I will.
I'm aware. I need
4 days removed from having one, and I feel incredible. And
I quit for 3 years, man, and I started back. I quit around the same time Nick did.
Me too.
When I moved, I moved to Ohio, then I quit, and then I came back and started back up. I need to definitely quit, man. I feel you, bro.
It's breaking that.
It's not that easy.
It's breaking that schedule. It's breaking that schedule.
Because you're all closet homos, which is okay.
Yeah,
and that's fine. So
you never cared, Nick. Come on.
Clint says. Like, he's got something for your oral asphyxiation. Like, so you either smoke a cigarette or you give a guy.
Buddy, are you trying to say something?
Well, I was, but Nick won't ever shut up. So
A plus B equals C, buddy.
Okay. Do you feel better because
he's busy killing sponsorship?
Or do you feel better because the air up there on that pedestal is just so much more thin and pure?
Yes. You get a lot more white blood cell count.
The one where you quit smoking and now you're like the guy that switched.
No, man, I'm just
switched from being.
You're pretty much the Apostle Paul.
Vegan.
Well,
I went to
isn't that exactly what you did?
I feel so much better.
No, man.
I've been out just crushing the gym. I run 37 miles a day, and it is awesome.
I'm also smoke right before the PT test and run 11 minutes.
Sounds like exactly what I said. But when I quit,
the only thing that came back was like your smell comes back, and then you smell other smokers, and it's like, fuck, man, that's what I smelled like. It's kind of disgusting. But other than that, I didn't feel.
Speaking of Dunkelberger, we were talking about Dunkelberger on our podcast on the Fifth Principle, and as I'm running down our dens for the 2 mile, like I hear the guy going 10:47. 10:48, right? So I start walking, okay, because I'm being a dick, because I'm way ahead of Dave and like I'm way ahead of everybody, and so I just start walking. I crossed the finish line at 11:15, right? Walking, and then who is that guy that got real skitsy on the deployment?
Jones.
In our platoon. No, in our platoon.
We had a Jones. He didn't deploy, and he would like an 11:05.
This was a guy. He said he didn't want to die. He didn't want to leave his kids alone. He was a gunner for us. Tall guy.
I know exactly. It was Hill. It was Hill.
Yeah. So he had a cigarette.
No, it wasn't Hill.
As he was great in the PT test, and I grabbed it from him, and I started smoking on our dens, during PT hours. Not smart for a private to do.
Blonde-headed dude, right, with curls. He went to Scouts.
No, dark hair. He never went to Scouts. But either way.
Whatever.
Like Dunkelberger, the sergeant major, is like, what the he just starts losing his shit because I'm smoking a cigarette. Like, were you just walking on that PT test? I was like, yeah, Roger, sergeant major. And he's like,
what was your time? I think Ogren was grading. And I go, hey, Ogren. I go, what was my time? I go, hey, Sergeant Ogren, what was my time? He goes, 11:15. And I put the cigarette back in my mouth, and Dunkelberger just ran away. I was like,
that dude used to smoke all the time, though, too. You know?
all right, we're going to.
Anyway, let's get to our guest, huh?
Let's get to our guest.
Absolutely.
He's been nice. He's been calm over there. We're trying to wait for him to get rid of his headache because he's a little nervous to be on the Trash Talk Hour. But we got Stephen Baker with us, and he'll get into it. But he had a really strange MOS that he signed up for in the beginning. And before he finished basic, they canceled it out of active duty. And he had to go to reserves and be a nasty girl. But he has a website and a business called Life Warp, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you go on there to lifewarp.com, you'll see what it's all about, and I'm sure these guys will put it in a thread. But he got out of the Army in 2004, and he hit us up on Messenger. Which, again, those of you watching, any of you guys that own a business, that run a nonprofit, anything, right? Hit us up on Messenger. We will put you out there and promote you for free. And our reach is very large, and we could charge you, but we don't. And because we want to build every veteran that we can up to be as successful as possible. And sometimes there might be only 2 guys watching this today that will really benefit from what Steve does. Maybe there's 1,000. All right. But either way, like we always say, if we help one person, all right, then it's been worth it. Not to mention it's hilarious and a great time to talk with your boys every Saturday. So Steve Baker, welcome to the Trash Talk Hour.
Stefan.
Yeah. Tell us. Tell us why you didn't have the balls to go
for
airborne,
you, buddy.
and then and that why you decided to get out and make more money.
I didn't really decide to get out. I was kicked out. I mean, you have permanent nerve damage. They don't like you anymore. When you're walking around limping, the sergeant major kind of discourages that. I got out December 24th, 2004. That was my discharge date. My first MOS was 82 Charlie, Field Artillery Surveyor. Not strange. We would actually do the hard work for the gun bunnies so that they didn't have to think. When I finally got out, I was an admin specialist. I've been to college. And my dad created this program. It's called Life Warp. We created this program for 8th graders in his class, and he was working on his master's degree. His master's degree was in education, and he's trying to figure out a best way to engage his students and better his students. Well, when we did this program, I helped him write it. We worked on it, and about 3 weeks into the program, this little shit walked up to him. I mean, this guy was a pain in the ass. This kid was a pain in the ass. He had money coming out of his ears. His mom and dad would give him a checkbook and say, you can do whatever you want, spend whatever you want. 3 weeks, he walked up to his dad and said, Dad, I need to be more responsible. The reason this is so incredible is because this program is a program it's a basic life skills program. It teaches you how to buy a house, how to buy a car, how to pick a career, the basic things. But we also
literally should be taught in school.
Yeah, it should be taught in school. But I mean, we took civics out of school. We took all kinds of things out of
metal
school.
shop out of most schools. Took wood shop out of most schools. Took mechanics out of most schools.
Yeah.
But this is the key. If you guys can see this.
Yep. Plant a tree.
Here,
yeah.
Plant a tree.
Dental checkup for the whole family.
Dental checkup. I mean, what happens is at random times during the program, those pages are cut out, and the student draws from a bag, and then they have to write a report on the 3 options that they found for. Say, if it's like planting a tree, it's no big deal. You just write which tree you planted and where you planted it, and but the other one is say your kid breaks an arm, you got to figure out what doctor you went to and how much it cost. And so they learn the real life skills. They learn how to handle when life goes left and you're like, crap, what just happened? I mean, life can hit you like a freaking bus and you're sitting there like,
well, you just
where
blame
do I go
somebody
now?
else.
Yeah. Where do I go now? What do I do? And that's the thing. When most of us get out of school, we're like, how do I file taxes? you go, and that's why everybody goes to pay $400 or $500 a year to file your taxes, because nobody can figure out how to do it themselves. We actually teach how to file taxes in this program. We teach how to research credit cards. Starting in 8th grade, we teach credit cards. We teach how to fill out a W-4, a W-2, 1099. We teach them how to fill out a 1040.
Hey, let me cut you.
Starting age.
Let me cut
Stephen,
you off.
what
real
is the
quick.
starting age for this program?
Buddy, just
8th grade.
Sorry, no, I was okay.
Dave,
All right.
what?
We're losing Joe again.
Go ahead,
You
Dave.
good,
Sorry,
Joe?
that was all I wanted to know. I just didn't know when they got them started.
So you said it starts like Joe asked the first
what'd you
question I
lose
was
me?
going to ask at 8th grade, right? You said,
Yeah.
now is this an online thing that these
Not
kids
right
attend, or okay?
Not
So
right
how if they want to take your course, like
We sell it through the website.
okay,
It's for the student book, it's 15. For the teacher book, it's 30. We tried to keep it as affordable as possible, so that anybody could buy it. We're trying to teach financial responsibility, so we shouldn't be gouging people for a product that's teaching financial responsibility.
okay.
That's
So
how
to
I
clarify, it's we buy the book and then it's for parents basically to teach their kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm working on getting cameras lined out so that I can create some videos.
Nice.
That are tutorial videos, and they'll be on our YouTube page. And once I get Rumble up and running, we'll have them on Rumble. But we're trying to get more of that going, but it's been a struggle because I used to be a tech guy. I'm not a tech guy anymore. I'm not big on which camera I should buy, and I made a couple mistakes buying cheap, bad cameras. So now I've got these cameras I can't use, and I'm like, okay, what do I do now? So yeah.
Use more of them. If you use more than one, then you're good. The cheapness cancels each other out and makes one expensive one. Just tape them together, 10 of them.
No, I like this a lot. And you bring up some really, valuable things for our young kids that they're not taught.
Adults.
Taxes or adults even. Yeah, there's a lot.
Lots of adults.
You
We
see it
have
in the
an
military.
adult
When you're a
version of the
team leader, and your privates come in and you got to teach them basic life skills. Like,
there's a lot
sometimes
of
it's
them
as
that
bad
come
as
in
like,
that don't-
hey, brush
don't
your
even have
fucking
that
teeth,
training.
Right. Correct. So I really like that concept and that idea. What made you start that? Like, what was it? Do you have kids of your own, or like you just saw a bunch
at the time when we first started,
You mentioned your dad. You mentioned your dad with the. I did pay attention. But like, for you, go ahead.
We started this in 2000. My dad died in 2010, and my mom handed the program off to me and said, "Take it and do something with it."
Okay.
When she handed it off to me, it was a spiral bound. We printed it ourselves. It really was a homegrown kind of thing, but we couldn't keep up with, I knew I wouldn't be able to keep up with printing it and binding it and doing it all myself once we started selling it. We do have a high school version and an adult version of this program. I mean, this from 8th grade to adult change. We add things, and it gets progressively harder to finish the program. Yet, when you're done with the program, I mean, like the adult version, we have to write a paper on the difference between health care and health insurance. So they have to learn the difference between the two. They have to learn in the high school version. They have to learn the difference between renting a house and buying a house. I mean, you have to figure out. I mean, and we do auto insurance, life insurance, renter's insurance. We teach them about the basics. The best part about this program is the fact that it's so easy to use. It comes with lesson plans in the front of the book. So the parents or the teachers, all they have to do is read the lesson plan and then follow the instructions. Everything is laid out for you. All you do is do the program.
I mean, this sounds like really something that could be, I think that's your background, isn't it? Yeah.
It's either Stefan's or Beckwith, because
Yeah.
if you have headphones on, you won't have feedback. So
Yeah, but it sounds like something that could be really implemented in an actual classroom at school. Has there ever been any thought about reaching out to, like, I wouldn't know where you have to reach out to put it into the education system, school boards or whatever, but has there ever been any thought that you try to do that? Or
We've been trying here in Illinois. Illinois is very difficult to get into the schools. From some of what I've been told about getting
It's
into
because
some of
it's the worst state in the union.
One of them.
It is the worst.
One of the problems is that schools buy from these big book conglomerates, and they have these contracts, and they're not supposed to buy from other smaller businesses.
Yeah, schools only use federally funded schools use 3 sources for their textbooks. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, the best part about this is we've classified this as not a program, but a game. So they can buy it
like
as a game for their class, and we try and say, okay, in the second semester of your year, you're looking at testing. Well, you're always looking at filler times that you got to figure out what to do in that while you're doing all this state testing. Guess what? This program can fill that time. This program can fill that void because it's basically a filler kind of game, and it adds depth and it adds a measure of reality to the kids' education. Once they start figuring out and seeing some of this stuff, like, wait, I can actually say this should be bought cheaper somewhere else. And that's what one of the parents said. The parent came to my dad years after the kids got out of school and said, "What did you teach my son?" He was like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "He saved me 30 grand on his college education because he found the same program he wanted to do cheaper somewhere else." So we're looking at trying to get the word of mouth into the teachers' ears, parents' ears. We needed to get it into the parents so that they understand, so they can go and say, "Hey, we want this in our schools. We want this private schools, public schools, homeschool. I mean, whatever you want to do with it, it's there." I mean, we're looking at the household debt in this country has gotten so out of control. This program can help curb that, can help bring a measure of control to their spending, to their they're not understanding. When I got out of high school, this was way back in the 90s, and my dad hadn't created this program yet, and the schools didn't teach this kind of stuff even when I was in high school. So we were under the impression, go get your credit cards and buy what you want, and then pay off a little bit at a time. I mean, what did that do? That got you into debt, and you're stuck in debt.
Well, right. Yeah, Steve, got to mute your mic.
Yeah, we're getting wicked feedback.
So in the lower left-hand corner, there you go. Perfect.
Nick starts running his trap.
Yeah, just remember that you have to do that and then unclick it when you want to talk. Well, you're gonna say something, buddy.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I think it's funny. So I'm from Alabama, and
you are.
We're our education system. I mean, we real bad. We not good.
I think it's like 48.
We not good.
We real dumb up there, down there in Alabama. We real dumb, according to Nick, anyway. But
I came here to play football, not school.
I remember.
Did you get an A in touchdowns?
Funny story. Speaking of football, one of our football coaches, Coach Les Roden, was our economics teacher, and that is what all of ninth grade economics was balancing a budget, making a budget, credit cards, all the same type of stuff. And just like you said, they stopped teaching civics. I mean, home economics was also supposed to be a big part of preparing students to get out of school and not go straight into college. I saw a thing the other day where a guy was like, he was telling a story about He's a welder. Makes a lot of money as a welder, doing great things in trades. And his high school principal wanted him to come back and talk to the class as they were having a job fair. And the guy was like, "No, eat a dick. I'm not coming back there." He's like, he was like, it wasn't very many years ago that I sat in that chair right there, and you told me I wasn't going to amount to shit and I wasn't going to do anything because I wasn't planning on going to college. Now he's like, now I wouldn't wipe my ass with your salary. And you want me to come back and tell people to trust you guys and do what you guys say? Like, hell no, I'm not going to do that.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
We've gotten to a system like 50 years ago.
Well, it's a narrative that they want.
It's the narrative. It's pushed. Parents are pushing it. College instead of getting out. Maybe even at 10th grade, learning a trade. That's how you do it in Germany. You learn a trade to be a roofer, mechanic, or whatever. You learn that for 2-3 years,
hey, Dave,
and then you're good to go.
We beat Germany twice.
Who cares?
Okay,
Who cares? I'm talking about the education.
All right, like so maybe you should have.
Education over there is way better.
Study harder.
Way better.
No, it's not.
Way
better at all. It's 100% wrong.
Back
to
back.
A more rounded out, diverse education system than anywhere else in the world.
Literally,
all the
way
good doctors come here. All the good doctors come here, Dave.
Because they make more money here.
Why,
Dave?
Well, why do this?
Believe it, buddy.
You just said all the good doctors. Where did they get their education, though? They got it from somewhere else.
Nope, they got to come here and redo it. They got to come here and redo it.
10 years of German school.
They got to come back.
10 years of German school are equivalent to a high school diploma. It's plain and simple.
Dave, I don't.
Why are you guys socialist?
10 years.
Fucking retarded.
10 years. That's all I'm saying.
Oh my God. I think you've got another 30 years or so. Actually, no, it's only like a 20 years. It's got to be 100 years after it happened. I think you got like at least 20 or 30 years before you can talk about German doctors and scientists and how awesome they are.
Those doctors and scientists did a lot of stuff.
They did a lot of stuff. They did some bad shit.
And then they came here and helped create NASA. It's crazy, huh?
Where you could start talking about how
where they had.
And then they came here and created NASA.
Let me school Dave on something here. When a doctor gets residency,
Hey, Steven, you got any popcorn?
When a doctor gets his residency in India, he has to come here and get another residency.
Cool.
Okay, so
this
a lot of the racist people will be like, I don't want an Indian doctor, and I'll be like, well, you're an idiot because that guy has 2 residencies. All right, he has a residency in India and he has one in the United States. He literally is one of the most educated doctors.
Nobody's arguing that.
All right,
you just said that American education is better than German education, which is not
the United States education system. Teaching all the arts and everything is the greatest thing ever assembled. Okay, that is why
you're saying it's the number one education. USA has the number 1 education system in the world. You are literally claiming that right now.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Now, if you break it down by certain test scores in certain other countries,
Nick.
It's true. Look it up.
Okay. So, I don't need to look it up. I'm fully aware that the U.S. is not the number 1 education system.
We don't rank number 1 in education.
Yeah, no, we don't. Absolutely not. Not even close.
We don't rank number 1 in certain topics. So if you break it down by topic, then yes, other countries beat you because countries like Japan, once you score a certain high on a test score, you now just focus on that. Okay. So again, the diverse system, all right, of the United States education, the Jeffersonian education system, by far gives people more options than any other country. By far. All right. So
again, but that's
the narrative.
Diversity doesn't make your education system great. Like
this is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, you can get a master's
in America makes
underwater basket weaving, but that doesn't mean that you're educated. It just means that you know how to weave the shit out of
Canada, Japan, Australia, United Kingdom, Finland, Germany, United States. So that's I think Germany's before the U.S. I just want to clarify that real quick.
Out of what? Off of Wikipedia?
I'm just saying.
Wikipedia? Is that where you got that?
10 years of German school are equivalent to a high school diploma. That alone just says it, man.
Is that Wikipedia?
Anyway, let's get back to the show.
Was that Wikipedia?
Dumpster fire.
You just read?
Let me break it down, Barney.
Yeah, let me break it down.
I just did that for you.
I just did that Barney style.
No, I want to keep talking about it, Dave, because you get all crazy about it.
Yeah.
I'm not triggered.
The reason why German scientists come to America is because they can't do the things they want to do in Germany.
Yeah, nobody's disagreeing with that, Nick. Nobody's disagreeing. That has nothing to do with the education system. That has something to do with opportunity. That's 2 different things.
If you go through the education system in America thinking they're going to hand you everything, then you're going to fail.
You're talking about opportunity, though, Nick. That's opportunity. We have all the opportunities. This is the greatest country in the world.
With education.
No,
Opportunity,
education.
We don't
Educated people
force
come
you-
here because of the opportunities that they have because of their education.
We don't
Like-
force you to go down a road because you scored certain tests. All right, that's what other countries do. They force you into a program.
Depends.
No, they do.
I mean, what country are we talking about?
Japan.
Germany does.
Okay.
Dave.
Germany does
too.
not.
Yeah, it
Yes,
does.
they
You're gonna be a welder.
No,
Yes,
you
they
have
do.
All
the
right, you're
option.
gonna be this.
No, you don't.
No, you don't. That's how socialism
Come
works,
on,
Dave.
I went to German school my whole life.
Oh my God,
21
40
years,
years
bro.
ago?
And,
How are you going to
once
tell me
you-
that we didn't have options?
American
once you
city.
take, yeah, you have options.
You're old.
You
You're
can be a
older now.
welder, a plumber.
Things have changed.
Yes, or you can further your
Forever.
education too. So
If you have a high enough score, you can.
Yeah.
But
right,
they're paying
you're
for the-
absolutely right about that.
That's
Yes, if
socialism.
Exactly,
It's
that's what
stupid.
he's saying. It's the same in
But-
Europe. It's the same in the UK. It's like
you don't
what-
get a
take
college
the
degree if you don't
exam.
score the you don't graduate high school if you don't score the requirements to graduate high school. Like that's just
Yeah,
normal.
yeah, no,
you
no,
don't
no.
progress. Like that's
But
No,
again,
no,
our
no.
education
Dave,
system
come
scores
on.
lower in certain topics. Go ahead, buddy.
go ahead, buddy.
The point that he's making is that when you take your final
Stefan, you're still here, right? Yeah.
in
I told
Dave,
them
you
to
can
get some
sign off.
popcorn.
in almost all of those European countries that you just named off, once you take
Yeah.
your exit exams for high school, whatever they are, Japan is the same way. They log you in, like you're basically locked into a type of work that you're going to be able to do. You're either going to get high enough because they're paying for the education system, right? You're going to get high enough that you can go to university, or you're going to score lower and you're going to go to a trade school. That you could pick the trade school. Yes, you are correct, but you're still going to a trade school. You're not going to be a doctor. And then once you're already locked into that program, if say you have some freaking, you bump your head and become a fucking genius at 30, doesn't matter. You're just going to be the smartest welder on the crew. You're not going to be a freaking, you're not going to go to
You could-
goddamn
you could-
college.
You could go back and get your Abitur.
So again, here's the narrative.
absolutely.
Here's the narrative.
I mean, I can tell.
I mean, here's the
from
narrative
Germany
that's sold
on.
differently. Here's the narrative that's sold differently, right? So you have the narrative where, like Dave is saying, which he's right about, where you have to go to 12 years of school, all right, and then you have to go to college, right? That's the narrative that people are selling in America, okay? The actual educated people who are successful in America, like, you know, people who come from other countries, like Clint says on the thread here, he goes, I think the thing that gets people confused is the ranking system in quotes. America has this thing called open borders. All these people with our language as a second or even more are still put into the pool of who is considered for the ranking. Okay. So again, the Jeffersonian education system allows freedom of choice, right? Regardless of your scores. If you want to keep hitting down a hammer on calculus and you can't get it, you're not going to be, you're not going to teach you, you don't know it. Right. But you have the opportunity. Now, what happens is like what Steven brought up in the beginning, where they take out civics, they take out wood shop, they take out metal shop, they take out all these things, right? Because that's not what the federal government wants you to learn. All right. And so be it. Okay. The point is that we don't take you by an aptitude test and force you to do something. All right. That is fundamentally wrong. Okay. Will it be successful for some people? Absolutely. All right. You know, like, but that is fundamentally wrong. And the thing is, what I coach my own children to do is that, hey, if you want to be this, go be it.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? But it will also be 100% beneficial for you to go to college. Okay.
Agreed.
Regardless, take a class here and there, read some more books. All right. Because the reason why I'm in college, I don't need it. The reason I'm in it is to keep my brain activated. Right. Like, I just want to keep reading.
But that's the point, though, Nick. It's that you don't have to go to college to keep your brain activated.
Correct.
But you have
But that's not the narrative. There's two different
brain
narratives.
activated. Whether you're a welder and you continue to go to like different, like maybe you're a welder and then you decide to go to underwater welding school or go somewhere else. The only way for a person to get more educated is to consume education their entire life, not to
Whatever it may be.
Well,
Yeah.
Right.
I finished my degree. It's like guys, like say SF guys. Yeah, you got a tab. Sweet, dude. Everyone's got that. Now you have to continue to do shit so that you're still relevant.
Go to more schools in your case. Yeah. More,
I
more
do get
qualifications,
triggered when
whatever.
I do get triggered when people don't understand the diversity of the Jeffersonian education system. And it's like you like you have the opportunity to be the smartest people in the world in this country. And that's why the smartest people
100%.
from other countries come here.
Yeah. And I never disagreed with that.
Because of the freedom of the education. Right. Because of all the resources that we have.
You can also use that same argument against you, Nick, by saying that some of the smartest, most successful people in our country didn't graduate from college.
Well, right. But I'm not saying you have to go to
or
college.
even come from this country.
The narrative. Well, again, that's what we just talked about, Dave. People come from other countries because they have a better opportunity to succeed.
And I don't disagree with
because
that.
of the education.
Elon Musk came to the United States from South Africa because he thought
because of the education.
He could do it. Well, it was
because of the opportunity.
Yeah,
because of education. You can learn so much more and have more resources here because of all the things we have.
He wasn't worried about the education system. He was getting his own education. Like he was educating himself.
It has nothing to do with the education.
Again, you could bring up one guy and I could bring up a million.
Indoctrination.
Okay?
At this point.
I could bring up a million people who have benefited of one guy. Like that's the same person who says, well, I had a friend die from this, so fuck guns. Right? Like that doesn't matter.
No, I was just one person. We don't have enough show for me to point out all of the people.
All of the people, right?
Let's talk about Einstein.
Albert Einstein. Come here.
There's a lot more. Yeah.
But
I think we're getting. Nick. I know what you're saying.
You're arguing my point. They come here because they have more resources. Why do
That's
they
what
have
I've
more
been saying.
resources? Because of all the colleges that have all these things.
No, I don't see. I disagree with
Where
that.
do you
who cares?
think they do their studying?
Now you got
they come here for the.
Where do you think the labs
They come here
are?
for the opportunity.
Where do you think?
Because this is the best freaking country in the world, and there's
Where do you think
opportunity.
they get their grants from? Yeah,
we have
because
money.
the
We have
Jeffersonian
businesses that
education
can get built. We have the technology.
Where do you
these
think
people are coming from
from
other countries? Not here because of the education. They received their education already.
System.
Now they are coming here to use what they learned.
The system built. They can actually use it. They can apply it. They can come here and get grants to college labs. All right. That's where they do all this stuff.
Because of
they
opportunity.
Do this stuff in labs at universities.
Right.
That's where they do it. All right.
Opportunity.
Yeah, exactly.
Not education.
Because of the Jeffersonian education system. That's the system that breeds this. It's not one thing. All right. It's not one thing. There are brilliant people. There are brilliant people everywhere. All right, everywhere. And it's sad when people say, oh, fucking Germans are smarter. No, they're not. Okay. They're not smarter than something Elon Musk. Like whatever. Like, so the point is that like what Steven was saying, back to his business, right? Is we have to teach people
good transition.
How to do these things. Right. And nobody wants to take ownership of the fact that they don't know how to count. All right. They don't understand what interest is. They don't understand that in life insurance, when you get out of the Army, don't pay TRICARE. All right. Don't pay that insurance. All right. Pay it into a full life insurance where you actually get equity back into it. Right. And then after 7 years, you collect a dividend. And then that dividend actually pays for your life insurance. All right. People don't understand that. Unless because we don't want that, the narrative, we don't want that. But yeah, Steve, sorry, welcome to the dumpster fire. We get a little off topic sometimes. Yeah. But yeah, go ahead again.
I'm
German education is still better.
Yes, go ahead. Go get some popcorn.
Steve, hey, I had a question.
Hey, sweetie.
That I tried to ask, but Nick and Dave were ranting over. Hey, so have you?
Let's all go move to Germany. Oh, but they won't take you. That's right.
So anyway, have you thought about because I know you were talking about the public school system, but I mean, to be honest with you, the public school system is kind of locked
run by the government.
Well, they're run by the government, and they're locked into what they have to do. They don't really have a choice. But charter schools and private schools and the the people that are homeschooling, and then there's a bunch of newer, especially for younger kids, schools that just they're basically like homeschools, but they go to one place, kind of like in between a charter and a homeschool. Have you thought about marketing to those people, and how would that go? And also, do you have any plans of digitizing the system so that they can just get a program?
Yeah, like an online class or something.
Well, eventually, I have it. I don't know. Is this helping? I put a filter in front of my mic.
Oh, you're fine when it's just you.
Okay, I've got this written out, drawn up, ready to go. I just need to figure out how to get it, get the programming going. I've been taking programming classes, trying to figure out how to do coding and everything. That's just not my thing. I'm not.
Weird, you can do that here.
Huh?
No, go ahead.
No, I'm not a coder. I want to turn this program into a game, to where they actually play it as a role playing game where they go from point A to point B to point C, and it's they go on little quests. While they're going on their quests, they're learning different things and they're figuring out different aspects of life. Kind of, I don't know, kind of like a Assassin's Creed without the killing.
Yeah, like a choose your own adventure book, but on the computer.
Might be like a good mobile app too, or something. We know some people.
Buddy,
maybe
on a
get you
choose
guys
your own
connected.
adventure book, if you don't take your finger off the page, can you go back?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
You can either go to
Okay,
page 32
good.
and kiss the princess, or page
Because
77.
otherwise, I would always walk into the cave with the
So,
dragon,
so
and
this
if I didn't
is-
take my finger off the page, I could go back.
Yeah, well, here's a funny story, and this is completely off topic, but it is kind of on topic anyway. When I was in dive school, on the first Friday is Black Friday, and they just take you out and smoke the shit out of you for a few hours. The head instructor got up one day, or at the beginning of the day, because you're in the classroom and then you got to run to the pool deck, and the head instructor, Dennis, goes, "All right, guys, tonight." It's on you. It's all like a choose your own adventure book. You can either go to page 32 and kiss the princess, or you can go to page 73 and suck the dragon's dick. You want to suck a dick or kiss the princess? Get out to the pool deck. Let's go. Greatest motivational speech of all time.
Oh, that was good,
yeah.
man. How about choked?
Thankfully, the little one's out of the room. Thank you,
Choked
buddy.
up a little bit. Hey,
I got headphones on.
you know your operational environment. Don't have your kids around. That's how this works.
She can't hear y'all.
So Steven, where again? I know you mentioned it. Is this just available on your website right now, the book, or is it actually like in bookstores, Amazon? Like if somebody that's watching and they want to purchase it, where do they have to
Yeah,
go?
where are you selling?
Currently, we're selling it on the website.
Okay.
We want to get it into bookstores. I've been talking to different people, and I've got the paperwork ready to go for the bookstores, but because I don't have the right printer, right now we're at an on-demand printer, and they require having a massive stockpile back before I can go into the bookstores. I'm kind of stuck. They want you to have a bunch of books ready to go for when they decide to order them, and I don't have that right now.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So hey, if you're watching on Veteran Trash Talk or Gruntworks or any platform that we have, if you can like, message Steven or go to lifewarp.com and maybe give a helping hand to him. That's what we're all about here. So yeah,
Hey, we've had a
Our
couple
email's
guys
on the
show
website.
that
You
have
can
printed
contact
books out
us.
before.
One or
should be
two.
a way to get them in contact with each other
Yeah.
and figure out the system.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't have to reinvent the wheel.
No, what I really would like to see. I mean, we even had a thing called Life Warp Charities. We launched, but we had to shut it down because of the last year. But that was basically taking 8th graders, buying them a dress, a set of dress clothes, and putting them through mock job fairs and mock interviews, and teaching them how to fill out an application, how to write a resume, and do it in the proper way. I had over 50 right here in Southern Illinois. I had over 50 professionals that were lock, cock, and ready to rock to do this. And then, of course, COVID hit and everything got shut down. So I couldn't do it anymore. And I really don't want to do this through Zoom for them, because they really need the hands-on training. They need the in-person experience of a job fair, an experience of an interview, and the feeling of you're sitting through this interview and, oh dear Lord, what am I going to do wrong?
Yeah, and that's a whole nother monster. I mean, now you're talking about having to hire people, make your business
well,
a lot
these
bigger.
are all volunteers.
Okay.
These are all volunteers. It was all volunteer basis. 95% of everything we were going to be taking in was, the business plan was set up that 95% of everything we took in went directly to the charity. 5% was for administration costs.
Gotcha.
So, we were going to be operating on a shoestring budget, but we were going to be operating it for the kids, for the students, for the adults, whoever went through the program, age 13 to 85. It didn't matter if you needed the help, we were going to help you. You guys were talking about the education system. Yeah, the education system can be screwed up. The education system is kind of in a mess. We don't know what we're teaching. Parents,
it was never supposed to be controlled. The way it was started was never supposed to be controlled by the federal government.
It was that's Carter's problem.
Yeah,
but what the parents have given up too much control to the schools. They don't teach their kids enough. They don't know how to teach. I mean, most parents don't know how to teach the stuff that we teach in this program. They don't know how to teach the budgets and the checking accounts and
because they're the ones in debt.
How to buy a car. And
it's a vicious cycle, and it continues with their kids. You're absolutely right.
Exactly. We don't focus on college in here. We say, what education system do you want to go through? Because the education system you want to go through depends on what career you want.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're going to become a welder, if you're going to become a framer, if you're going to become a doctor, each one is different. Each trade school is different. It takes a different amount of time. In the high school version, we even teach them how to fund their education. They are to research how to fund their education so that they don't wind up taking $200,000 in student loan debt.
Like Elon Musk says, it's amazing how the government won't give you a $200,000 loan for a house at 18, but they'll give you $200,000 for college.
Or
that whole thing is a whole other topic. Yeah.
Again, because that's why they're selling that narrative. They're selling that narrative because the government is making money off of it.
You graduate, you're a doctor, now you're paying like 9 years or 10 years to even pay off your fucking loans. You know,
well, not even just a doctor. You get a worthless degree.
A nurse, underwater welder, and I pay $50,000 for it. Yeah,
a nurse, you can make money. Like there's people with these psychology and all these other degrees, and like you have to be a career student or you're not gonna make any money. Like
no,
and then you can do that. You can spend. Does the book talk about applying for grants too?
No,
because like you could do a whole.
Well, no, that's in the educational funding program. That's in the educational funding section of the high school version. It talks. You're supposed to research how to find grants, scholarships.
Such an underutilized program.
All these different aspects of funding your schooling.
Yeah, there was a girl on like CBS Mornings that. She was actually making like $20,000 a year while in college just from grants.
Yeah.
All the school paid for plus 20 grand.
Yeah. Extremely underutilized.
That brings up a good point. The way Nick puts that is if you grow this thing and if this thing starts taking off, it gives you the opportunity to branch off and do another, a separate book just based on how to deal with getting grants for schools and it kind of gives you the opportunity to grow with what you can teach and how much you have the ability to teach. So it's pretty cool because there's a ton of skills out there that you can incorporate and add on to with this thing. You can make, it can really grow and be a huge program. So it's awesome. And it's very, very necessary.
There are no limits.
Jorge Masvidal, it's very necessary.
Yeah.
Right.
But my problem is I know the program. I know this program like the back of my hand. I've written most of it, rewritten most of it in the last few years in not changing the program itself, but
adapting
languaging and changing certain things. One of the aspects of this is they have to make a dream list. What is it that you want to achieve in your life? Well, the dream list we had was based on 1999. And things have changed.
Times changed.
So we had to update it but they have to dream big. They have to put in here pictures and find out how much that stuff costs. And then they have to pair them up as couples or partners, however you want to word it. And then you're put through the program as partners. And
that's
you
awesome.
Figure out how to run a house basically while you're trying to figure out how to do everything else.
Yeah. And it's kind of like that. It's just the same, any type of stigma that stops you from being productive, right? There's that stigma of like, maybe you're too embarrassed to tell people you don't know how to finance, right? You don't know how to budget, right? Get over your pride, get with your significant other and go take a class, right? Like go see like what you're doing wrong. All right. Like
it's okay not to know.
Again, that's why
exactly
in this system in the United States, I can study anything I want at any time. right? And nobody can stop me.
In
So
Germany, you
if-
can too.
If not really. So
And the
not if you're
resources
forced-
are
Look
there.
at Buddy shaking his head too. Your buddy's on my side on that
It's
one.
funny how both you shake your heads. And keep going,
yeah,
Nick.
yeah, because there's no way to know anything about a country unless you live there, right? You
Well,
sound
I mean,
just
if you
like-
kinda
you
live
sound,
there
you
for-
sound just like the people that say I can't interpret data because I'm not a scientist, right? It's like, no, I know how to interpret data, Dave. I can
mean-
read it. I took stats in college, right? And so, like, I can read it. But no,
Your
it's-
knowledge is based on what you've read and what you've other knowledge is
It's
based
not-
on when you lived there and actually went through the German
that's
education system.
experience.
Not real.
That's
Nick.
experience
not
is
knowledge.
yeah, experience you gain knowledge is a
Nope.
lot better than what you
Nope.
read
You just
and
gain
research.
experience. You gain
Yeah, what did Mark
experience.
Twain say?
Like,
Mark Twain said that he never let
It's the most
his
ridiculous thing
schooling
ever.
get in the way of his
Gain
to think that you,
experience.
to think that you would know more in this
Let's
subject. than
let's
I
make
would.
it simple. Let's make it
And
simple.
we're
I
just
didn't
talking
say-
about
I
one
didn't say
country. We're just
no
talking about
more.
one country.
Yeah, and
Like-
you went to school there 25 years ago, so cool.
I lived there for
like I
22
said,
fucking
so-
years, bro.
So what? And again, they might have a higher math score than America. Who gives a shit? Like it doesn't matter. That does not matter at all. Like that is not an education system. That's a subject. Okay, like good for you. We have the most well-rounded education system ever established in the world, ever.
Not disagree.
Whether or not you use it to the advantage, like Elon comes here, like he said, Elon said, I didn't go to Harvard, but most of my employees did.
No, he does
All
not
right.
say that. He actually says his employees don't need a college degree to
No,
work.
no,
for
he
him.
said that
because
Loud.
it's garbage.
He goes, I didn't go to
Loud.
look it up on your
Look
little
it up.
Wikipedia.
No, he did,
Look it
Dave.
up.
He said that.
Get,
He did
No,
say that
no.
verbatim.
getting loud.
Verbatim. He goes, I didn't go
Getting
to
loud.
Harvard, but my employees did.
No.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah, you're not a nuclear physicist or a nuclear fucking engineer if you didn't go to
I'll
college.
show you a
Dave.
video where Elon talks about his employees not needing a college degree
Well,
because he doesn't care about that shit.
That's a different conversation. He said it on Joe Rogan. All right, you can just go.
I know. I
watch
watched
it.
both of the podcasts.
So then you should know he said that. Okay.
He said
You
both
take
of them.
advantage of the stuff here. But anyways, again, we've already flexed our muscle. All right.
Love you, Nick.
America's the greatest. All right. You come here to do things because you can't do them in your country. Why?
Which is
Because
opportunity. You're absolutely
because the
right.
research here is so much better. Right. So you bring the biggest narrative most Americans have a problem.
Why
with
can they
is
do
when-
why can they do research? So it's not because of education. It's because
No,
of
it's because
opportunity.
of regulations.
Yeah,
All
well,
right. When you're
okay.
in very socialist
Opportunity.
countries, you can't regulate. That's what I was talking about. The system. All right. The system, if taken advantage of, is the greatest ever made. That's why they all come here. All right. So that system of education gets ruined when we force people down a pipeline or make people do one thing. Like you just can't do that. So, anyways, Steven. I mean, this is the dumpster fire. If you haven't watched our shows, this is what happens. So close us out before
What
Dave
we
closes
do,
us
man.
out. Give us
what we
give us
do.
something to part ways with, and then Dave will close us out.
Education is important, but it's education that's important. Learning and wisdom come from a broad range of sources. If you only pull from one or two sources, you don't have the expertise that you need. I have over 200 credit hours in college, no degrees, because I didn't take the extra curricular courses.
Right.
I have over 700 hours of training that are accredited, college accredited hours of training as a home inspector. Education, I'm constantly taking new classes, constantly learning. But that's the point of this
Beautiful.
program, is
Yeah.
to teach people how to learn. This program is meant to increase critical thinking. That's the basic focus of LifeWarp, is to help increase your critical thinking skills and make sure that you know exactly what you need to know for the future. Thanks, guys, for having me on. Thanks for letting me talk. Any other questions anybody has, life-warp.com. You can get to us from the website. We have 2 different emails. My personal phone number is on there. You can call me direct. You got questions, concerns, I'm always around to answer. But normally I don't work the weekends. I have a family.
There you go.
Hey,
Hey, well,
awesome.
thanks for putting some skin in the game where you wanted to make a change, man. It's inspirational what you're doing, but just keep the faith and bet on yourself, and this thing will grow.
Time. A lot of time and effort.
Yeah, thanks, Steven. I'm actually going to look at your website, and I'm going to order one of those books today for my kids. I think it's 100% beneficial. And then Nick, I'm sure we can plug it on the page as well with the links and all that stuff, you know, get you some publicity. So thanks again for what you do. I think it's a phenomenal program. I'd like to see you get into the schools maybe, or maybe start doing, like Buddy mentioned, something online. I think that would definitely, you know, skyrocket your business to the next level. But again, thanks for coming on. Everybody that's tuning in, thanks for coming on. Check out veterantrashtalk.com. All right. It has all the links to our podcasts, YouTube, shop.veterantrashtalk.com has our merch. All right. I think just the three of us are wearing merch. Joe, you're wearing the hoodie, right? Or the
No, I'm wearing the champion, bro.
But he is wearing a tank top, but I don't think it's VTT. But it is what it is.
VTT doesn't have one.
You're creating one right now, buddy.
I am creating one. I'm about to create one called the Stephen Nick.
I saw it. Yeah. Part of every sale proceeds benefit the organization Stop Soldier Suicide. We will be out for the holidays for the next 2 weeks. I think we'll be back on January, whatever. Nick, what's the day when are we going to be back on?
The second week in January.
Second week of January. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Have a happy holiday, and we'll catch you guys in a couple weeks. We're out.